Fire Will Burn You. That's the program, the title, the name. There's nothing wrong with fire burning you every now and again, is it? Anyway, this is Mansa Musa. I am ready to rock and roll. Another beautiful, beautiful Wednesday evening here in London. Not too hot and not too cold. Not at all, anyway. So, this is evening or nighttime politics. We discuss the current affairs, everything and anything that is happening in Ghana. So welcome. If you are ready, I am ready indeed. So tell a friend to tell everyone that Mansa Musa is ready, and I want all of you to join me to discuss the trending issues or what it is that okay okay, thank you. So yeah, so we can discuss everything. Medasi. And yeah, the trending issue, the trending news, the trending matters that is happening in Ghana today, is about the fact that most, or if not all, the national public institutions have been diluted, wasted, and now made, ridiculed, made to look very mediocre indeed. They've been made mediocre in the sense that in some days go by or in times go by, it was a privilege or some sort of pride was attached to the what do you call it, the ability, or let's say the opportunity for people to work within the national services, or let's say to work for state institutions. It was a big privilege, we say working for government those days. Everyone wanted to do their best, even though there was, even that time, a bit of corruption here and there. There was that discipline, there was that self-awareness that one shouldn't be seen to be overly, what do you call it, corrupt, or one shouldn't be seen to be easy to be corrupted or manipulated. So if someone is working in the public services, taking of bribes here and there was done all beneath the table. These things were done by people with fear in their hearts that when or if they get caught, they are in for big trouble. Those were the days. If someone collected bribe, those were the days I'm saying. People who wanted to join the army, here and there, give and take, bribes change hands here and there. But all in all, it wasn't with that brazenness, that impunity, where people in authority, in charge of public institutions, act with impunity, as it is happening now. Now it is that the highest bidder, the highest payer. If you're able to pay, you get through, and that's it. Nobody is ashamed or thinks, looks at the shamefulness of being caught or being told or being labeled as corrupt, someone who takes bribes. Today, everybody is at it. You see, that degradation, that complete absence of integrity or dignity in the civil service or within public life. This is what I'm talking about. And this is what I want us to correct, to make sure that we bring back we reinstate or restore that dignity, that, that fear of getting caught, that doing something wrong in public life. Like I said today, nobody cares at all. And that is not good enough. That, I'm afraid, is not good enough.
Discoteque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo.
Oye, oye,
I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government. I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government. I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government.
Right, definitely. So that is why these days most government institutions, government, what do we call it, properties are being shared, being sold to individuals, so that it become private properties. You see what I mean? It is cancelled. Anyway.
The Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure offhand.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures at this moment.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the...
All right, Mr. Randolph doesn't know, or he doesn't want to know. Like he's saying, I don't have the full complement. These people, they pay them in dollars, $8,000 a month to collapse, to destroy a national bank, to put disgrace on that bank. These people are being paid, and when you ask them, they talk English to you. They talk back at you. They don't even give you the respect to respond properly. No. Ekufuado, thanks to Ekufuado, everything in Ghana there has become a joke. Has become not a joke, but it has been rubbished. You see, I said something in my day. In my growing up days, I knew, or we knew that people collected bribes. People working in, government departments, in public institutions, public services, and the rest, they did collected handouts under the table, envelopes and everything. But everything was hush. No mention, no brazen. Somebody, I know somebody whose parents, you see, this kind of, the monies that get stolen by housemaid and houseboys, it didn't start today. I remember somewhere around 78, 79, before AFRC Rollins first came in, we had this young fella, a friend of mine, whose uncle, I think, he was working at the GFA, the Ghana Football Association, or some ministry or something like that. And that's where money really changed hands good indeed. And, every week, I think when they collect the gate proceed, the match proceed for football, they share a little bit to the teams. The rest doesn't go to the government coffers. And so I think the rest, this guy will come and hide it his senior brother is RSM in the army, right? So he will, in a bag, he will come and hide it in that RSM's bedroom. And so Jaman is also disciplined. He won't touch the money. But this guy, this my friend, bad boy, he will, that time when we are able to, take out a bit of, let's say, 200 cedis here, 500 cedis there, it was big money. So anytime we want to go to disco or going to go, high places, he was sponsoring everything, not knowing he was thieving from his uncle's stolen money anyway. But what I'm trying to say is that those days, bribes and collecting of bribes and paying of bribes, it was done under the table, quietly. Nobody was bluffing their way out. This young fellow told me that that time his uncle wanted to buy a certain car, and his father advised the uncle not to buy, because when he buys the car, people are going to be asking secret and quiet questions. Hey, how did he get the money? Where did he get the money to buy? That sort of thing. So even in those days, people were corrupt, and corruption did take place. But it wasn't as brazen as it is today. As it is in our day, where nobody is afraid of being, the shame, that shame tag of, say, he's corrupt, he took bribe. We found out that he embezzled money. Now people don't care anymore. It has even become some badge of honor, a big credential that, in 2 years he's built a mansion that will cost, let's say, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. Somebody will build it now. And for me, it's either, you win lottery, or you get some inheritance, or you went to the bank to borrow some money. Then quickly you can put up a building. But when you are working a normal, doing normal jobs, 5 to 9, as they say, as a civil servant, even if you are paid, I don't know, $20,000 roughly a year, roughly, as a what do we call it, principal secretary and all those kind of things. Surely you can't build a mansion that will cost, about $2 million within 4 years. You can't. So in my day, people did corrupt things, but everybody was hiding, everybody was afraid. That stigma, that shame, that tag, that, your uncle was sacked, your father was sacked, he was prosecuted, he went to jail and later released, and that. It was a shameful thing to happen. And that was for a good reason. In society, when there is this mark of, how do I say it, respect for decency, when people respect their decency, their dignity, when people want to, want others to believe they have integrity, in that society, they improve, they progress, they go forward. But in a society where everybody is like, one to me, everyone is shouting about, like in Japan, also want to be a president. These guys are so crooked. They are so filthy. They are stinking in the corruption, what do we call it, circles. In a corruption mode. They are so bad. Now they are afraid. They are afraid. They are afraid. These people, NPP people, they know that, look, Ghanaians, look, today I saw a clip. People around Tamale, Central, in their hundreds coming to register. People are pissed and they are ready. They are ready to register. They are ready to receive monies as well. They know people have stolen monies. They are ready to receive the monies and they are ready to vote these crooked, corrupt people out. Ghanaians want to do that. And so, Akufo-Addo, Bedi Etuo, Gabriel Chiredako, I tell you, even in 2020, according to A+, he said, Gabriel Chiredako told him that, my goodness, if they lost the election, they are in trouble. Even then, they knew. Today, somebody of high importance, a very eminent person in Ghana, with in a private conversation, telephone conversation, said, Mansa Musa, these people are looking for a coup. They want some palace, any coup at all that they can run away with their monies. Because they know, they are talking, they are shouting. Look, now even Bawumia think, it is still the days when you can come out with some slogan and people will follow you and vote for you. So Japan has given Bawumia, that slogan or that expression, that phrase, showdown. So Bawumia, they think I will give them a showdown. So they are going to use showdown as another policy, thinking that people are fooled, easily fooled, that like they used to be. You see, some sort of decency must come in the system. Some sort of how do I say it? The sort of tidiness, cleanliness, straightforwardness. I mean, that sort of people being, wanting to be trustworthy, to be respected, not because they got big money, but because I know. Look, let me tell you something. It took me just about a month or two to respect the present High Commissioner to UK, Ghana's High Commissioner to UK. I have my problems with MPP and Akufo-Addo. I know Papa Owusu Nkrumah is MPP true and true. I also know he's Nkrumah boy, only that his choice of contemporary politics, I think, is wrong. For Nkrumah boy, you don't join the UP group at all. But then, Papa Owusu Nkrumah is so, he's that type of guy. If you are really sensible, you cannot refuse or you cannot miss out that this is a proper guy. The respect he gives to everybody, the attention to details, and his willingness to do, to perform his duties. So even though Papa Owusu Nkrumah, the present High Commissioner in UK, Ghana's High Commissioner in UK, is an MPP person, I give him that respect. Equally or adversely, the thieves, the people are called the vagabonds. The thieves who are also strutting their stuff like peacocks on drugs. They are strutting their tail like peacocks, going about bluffing and shouting, using slogans. People who are paid less than $50,000 or $30,000 a year can load articulate lorries with so much goods to go and just share, not to disaster victims or anything. As we speak, I haven't seen Bawumia or Akufo-Addo himself or Japan or anybody going to that western region, as Takwa or somewhere. Recently, there have been massive accident, explosion, another explosion again. I haven't seen them go with lorries of packed with goods and essential commodities to go and help those victim people. I haven't seen it. But they are going to spend, people are going to spend in excess of $500,000 to buy votes for internal primary exercise. And nobody asks, where are they getting the money from? Meanwhile, as we speak, lest we forget, these people collapsed so many banks. Japan goes around telling everybody who will listen that he is a businessman and he has employed this and that and that and that. Papa Kwesindum, he actually did employ people, thousands of them. But his company was completely destroyed. His banking enterprise, his banking empire dissolved, destroyed. By wicked, very wicked, disrespectful, shameless people. Kufuor and his brothers and his uncles and whatnot. Destroy other people. Destroy any dissenting, any eye-opened person. Anybody who would try to ask questions or challenge the initial stages, they had to come onto them like mad. They chased people. Some were killed. And today, as we speak, these people have so much money. Within 4, 5, 6, 7 years, they are rich and rich and rich and rich. Tisikani nyafu ajijin Crawford. Wami fanyu mo imechum na me nkasa wo phone so. I'll be back. I will definitely be back.
When you were baby
welcome back to the show. If you have just tuned in, Mansa Musa, I am rocking and I am rolling. Listen, I'll let you speak. I'm talking about the issue at stake, the current in Ghana. That is, like I said,
NFM Radio.
Like I've already told you that in my day, na corruption will we are say. Na Ghana, na corruption or kalabule. People working in various civil, public institutions and civil servants. I'm not for bribe Tambia. But the difference is that people did all these things, with some degree of, say, fear. People didn't do it with impunity. Say, you cannot touch them, you cannot do anything. No, it wasn't like that. So, this evening, okay, thank you. The rant, the monologue, is all about the fact that, look, the country has degenerated. The moral fiber of the country is degenerated, completely destroyed. In a country that is very difficult to develop. The human development is not about 10% or 5% have all the monies and everyone is suffering. Like it's happening all over Africa. That is not human development. The human development is that the laws are made so that so far as you paid into the system, you paid your taxes, you get old or you get older and you suffer some illness, the same attention that the NHS here in UK will accord, or will give to a very rich, prominent person, it is the same they'll give it to you, ordinary person, who is maybe also in the same dilemma or the same problem. Even though the rich person can solicit, some other serious, maybe assistance from elsewhere, pay more money somewhere and get better services. But when it comes to the services provided by the state, everybody gets same. That is what we call human development, and that's what we got to aspire to. Not the type of nonsense people like Kennedy Japan and the rest of them are dancing and shouting and crowing about. Hey, come Kwasi, all these people want to be president. And they Ghana yabu bodamwana. And they Ghana yabu bodamwana. Don't you see how European white people and already are laughing at us? That people, if now it is all about the fact that you will become popular by hook or crook, by any means, then you can win election. And knowing very well that your party, your system, your people have failed completely. More fairly completely still. None of the questions being answered by people say, Baumia, what is he going to do about all this corruption? Baumia will tell you, digitization. Fine, digitalization, taking the human interface away and paying through electronics and that, fine. But the fact that billions have been stolen, that's what we are looking at, we are asking. You, Baumia, Kennedy Japan, what are you guys going to do about it? Because it's only easy. It is very easy to charge and harass people that don't support your party or people that are not members of your party. It's easy and cheap, and it is very, very easy indeed. I have to repeat, that tautology. But when I don't know any of them who is so, upright in order to stand and look into the eyes of his own people and say, hey, you need to be investigated here and there. He, Kennedy Japan, he's so crooked that his job was, if you bring it into the English vocabulary or the English sort of way of saying things, he's a hatchet man. He is the guy who will be sent to go and silence anybody who is dissenting. Mansa Azure or whoever, whoever is dissenting, he can in Japan will be sent. Hey, my friend Charlie, one call this is the job he was doing. Now he said he's so clean, he should be president. Even attempting to be is an insult to Ghanaians. Accepting these people on platform, on stages, to talk about wanting to be, the head of the country. It's an insult. Why can't you guys understand it? Why don't you get it? That people who are so corrupt like this, who have supported so much corruption, people who have destroyed everything to their own advantage only, who will deliberately look in the eyes of another person and destroy their properties, be it the banks or be it the trade fair site, destroy somebody's property, destroy a whole factory, and that they were going to rebuild something grand. As we see today, the trade fair site is what it is now. Some say the land has been sold. Deliberate. But people who had businesses trying to make ends meet, trying to, come out a little for the local industries, the local economy, you destroy it. I know many people, many people from 2008 up to 2009, to 2011, 12, all those times. I know these people. When we started and they argued about Kufuor, they mentioned him in that high spirit. Oh, that is Kufuor. Today, some of them, they will tell you point blank, say, oh, this guy, you are disappointed. Others are just quiet. And others too, foolishly, even though they know he's rubbish, they still defend it because that's a pride. Their ego, their pride is overriding the sense in their brains. So they go about still defending this absolute stinking rubbish of Kufuor and his family people. Must say your mind, passa. And then, no. What kind of nonsense be that? You see, what worries me, what annoys me, it's not the fact that, the politicians are misbehaving, but the fact that almost everything, every public institution, people there will have to work for Kufuor. You have to be on the side of Kufuor. And if that Kufuor is building, what we call it, sky trains, he's building undergrounds. If that Kufuor is building housing units in mass scale, with all the money, some will say nearly to $80 billion in 7 years. If Kufuor was doing some grand things for Ghana, and you want all the civil service and the public institution to be on side, then at least we can shut up and keep quiet. But when we know that the guy is completely out of his depth, complete out of his senses, somebody who sees nothing about taking private jets over and over. The guy is going to borrow. He will take private jets. Big sums of money. He doesn't see any value. He knows the cost of the private jet, but the value of what that money will do, he doesn't know. Like a child, like a baby. Like when we were babies, we knew, oh, this one, it costs 5 pesos, 2 pesos. We know the price. But the value of the money, when your mom said, no, give it to me, I'll keep it. We don't understand. We didn't know. Kufuor is behaving like a child. And he has been behaving like this for a long time since he came to power. Instead of people to stand firm and square, to tell this bracket, to tell this rubbish in all sense. When we're talking about charisma and the this and the aura about people, he hasn't got it. He's not pretty. He looks odd. He doesn't look like a proper, physical, nice-looking, proper Ghanaian. No. Kufuor is basa-basa. And then say, no. Then everybody want to be on the side that is destroying the country. On the very side that is destroying the country, everybody, the civil servants want to be on that side. Because no. Everybody, and Obiano be in it say, oh, me them person me Kenya some kakra, oh, they will destroy you. Today, I'm telling you, man, look, I won't like a general told me, say, look, Mansa Musa, our case is that our problem. Nobody can do a coup, a bloodless coup in Ghana. Bloodless, say, like how it happened Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, those Chad, all bloodless. He said that is our problem. If anyone wants to do, general, he told me. Say if anybody wants to do, general in the army, I'm not talking about just, self-acclaimed general. I'm talking a general in the army. He told me this. He said everyone wants to do that, hell will break loose. And a lot of blood will be shed. That's why people are, quietly looking at things. Because a Kufuor and Crawford almost say Omaino. Almost say Omaino. Omaya, I'm telling you that if it is that politicians are misbehaving, but at least the integrity, the dignity of a public office is that, like you are a CJ, that is Chief Justice. Yours is that, hey, what I'm doing, is it in the interest of the state? Or am I following the rules as prescribed, by law, which, I should follow? Now, even those at that level, they are not thinking about dignity. They are not thinking about integrity. All they are thinking about is that Kufuor has done me a favor, made me a favor. He brought me to this position. So I have to work, to his Kufuor's satisfaction, to his benefit only. And then it's only a boy of mine. So a lot of people go on saying that, no, the Constitution has given way to this because of Constitution, because the Constitution allows a Kufuor to appoint this, to appoint that, to appoint that. The people, you see, constitutions in this world, there's nowhere, not Iran, anywhere. Look, even if I don't know the type of constitution, I haven't seen the constitution in North Korea. But even there, I will tell you that when you open it, you will find allowances. No constitution is ever made so rigid, airtight, or watertight. For reasons that we are humans. That's why even in the Bible, you see that there are allowances here and there. Some say the Bible sometimes, confuses, or, sometimes the part of the Bible will say something, then the next one will, dispute or say a different thing. That sometimes the Bible verses are, as against each other is contradictory. It may be true, but that is allowances, the flexibility. So the framers of our constitution have framed it in such a way. There's allowance, there's flexibility. There's a need for a president to appoint, people, maybe even people that support him, so that he can run the country. But when it is so clear that the president is appointing people in order not to run the country positively, but destroy it, if you change the constitution, you change the letters, the narrative in the constitution to make it that, the president cannot appoint people of his choice. Someone else must appoint. Who knows what might happen in that respect? It could be right, it could be wrong. But a Kufuor is simply, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just because There are certain leeways in the Bible or in the Constitution or in the Quran. You have to just use it to your advantage and to the detriment of the people you are serving. What a nonsense. What a heck. Who gave these people, who told them that you can run a country like that? Who has given this Akufo-Addo and his boys the understanding? Who told them that this is how you have to run a country? You run everything down. You run everything down. Starting with, you have so many ministers. People started grumbling. People started talking about it. Even some of us, me, Mansa Musa, I remember in the early days, I was saying that, look, if bringing about so many ministers will help him run the country properly, let's stick with it. So be it. Let's see. In the end, we saw that it was just one chandy, chop maker chop. Just that we have people who help with the party to win. So everybody must get his share. So whether good, bad, or none, or whatever, they give them post. Everybody. Today, I was watching Tates Glover, or whatever his name. I didn't know he is the board chairman of Valco after losing his seat. Boy chairman national, is it something, NHS, something? Sharing posts just for them to earn a living. That's all. Not for them to run the country properly. And so you can imagine that people saw it right from 2018, that the economy was overheating, that the government is borrowing too much, that the figures that the government, the Foriata, was showing or lecturing about in Parliament and in public in Ghana, those figures doesn't add up. And when people saw different figures, different indicators in international forums or international discussions about Ghana, they started complaining that things are not right. I remember very well when somebody started saying that the debt to GDP was near to 85%. People, the NPP people were shouting, no, it's not true. It's about, they met it at 50 and now it's about 75, something. Not knowing it has gone to 104%, over and over. And they were lying to Ghanaians that everything, the figures are good. In places where they want to run the country properly, the finance minister can go to jail. That deceit. Say, as a finance minister, you can lie your way through budget. Tell Parliament that, the indicators and everything, then you remove certain borrowings. You take them out for it to look as though we didn't borrow. But outsiders, the foreign money controllers, they know how the accounting is done. If you add everything together, you have overborrowed. Deliberately, because if Ken Oforiatta did not deliberately lie, to Ghanaians, that means he was incompetent. If he didn't lie, because everybody, Adongo and the rest were saying that, look, the figures we've seen from outside is different from the figures you are showing us in Parliament. The rest of our society in Ghana, the foolish men and women who make up the Christian Council, the Council of Elders, the Council of this, and from 1950s people. Still, they want to hold on to power. And so now they have to make sure whatever properties and wealth they couldn't acquire in their working days, today, all of a sudden, somebody can buy you very expensive vehicle, $300,000 vehicle, and give it to you as a council of something member, advisors, all this nonsense. All these people were quiet. I remember the first instances of why roads have been put on hold. The repair or the building of roads have been put on hold. Akufo-Addo people say, oh, we need to investigate because it's been monies have been put somewhere in Basel. They spent apparently about $11 million to do that investigation. Up to today, nobody knows that white paper. We can't find any results. This is what happens. Many instances, they've wasted the money, spent the money, shared the money, and Ghanaians cannot be, we are not allowed to ask. Now, the most annoying part in all this is that even some people who get nothing out of this, some people who get absolutely nothing, they will be defending, and they have been defending this government. I remember, way back 2016, a guy called Peter Rumford, in Chibu, he went to stand as a parliamentary, he failed, now he has been given an appointment in Ghana. I remember looking at the NPP, what do we call it? Looking at the NPP manifesto, 2016, and I was asking him, look, I've checked all the tax, what do we call it, components that the government said he was going to take away. It's almost about 37% of the monies that the government would need, the taxes that he was going to waive. So I asked Nchibo Esiako, where is the money coming from for the government to run the country? The way he insulted, the way he slapped, the way he disgraced me on air, that I was a nobody who knew economy, who knew to tell me so many things. Not knowing we will end up that people's savings today will be captured and not people who are strong enough to even start working. Pensioners, old people, people who started work maybe immediately after independence. Today, they have to just, forgo their medicines and maybe a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of assistance before they die. These people will have to just suffer again. And then, they say, hey, Muntu Abamaye. Because they think that Ghanaians are fools. They think that Ghanaians can be lied to. They can be hard. It's easy to lie to Ghanaians. That's what they think. They think that Akufo-Addo, Bawumia, and all those rubbish people, they think, it is 2016 thereabout, where you can, our government give a showdown. Okay. Now that slogan has become Bawumia's policy. What will you do? I'll give them a showdown. Let me take a short break. I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Stay there.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo.
Ojaye. Anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa. Anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa. Anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa. Anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa.
Right, or say anima koliwa koliwa koliwa, and that is Osibisa. I like this song. Your friend is saying this man. I don't know if you guys remember him, Professor Frimpong Boateng. He has written this open letter. This open letter to anybody. Anybody will be a person or your president, you know. Professor Frimpong Boateng has written this open letter that I will try and see if I can get a bit, read a bit of it to my listeners. Now, Nakasa, when I went on break, that hopefully either tomorrow or on Friday, he will make himself available for full proper discussion. Or say, Frimpong Boateng writes open letter to anybody who wants to be president of Ghana in January 2025. Or say, Ghana has not done well. Ghana has not done as well as it should have done since President Kwame Nkrumah was unconstitutionally ousted from office through a military coup. By the National Liberation Council on February 24, 1966. Also, Ghana has had 3 other interruptions of governments. The present Fourth Republic, dominated by that's the NDC and MPP, has not brought transformational change that will put the country on its paths of sustainable development and prosperity to its people. Okay, I think I have a caller. So let me just connect the telephone or the telephone connections and ask this caller, as they say in the pidgin parlance, waiting cry he want from here. Hello, good evening.
NFM Radio.
Emudaho.
Comrade Yusuf, and I want to call and contribute to some of your comments and statements regarding the police mutinous. I don't know if it's the right time to talk about it or not.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, when you have the whole thing is turned into a show of rather trying to question the credentials of the or the performance of the IGP instead of those who were caught on tape, being penalized. So what I can say is that the committee that is handling this, is it a bipartisan committee, or this is just a committee that is there to sort of work in terms of partisan politics, which is characterized by a lack of, cooperation between rivals, which is the NDC and the
So
the
what do
MPP.
you think? You know the composition now. What do you think it is? Is it bipartisan
Well,
or what do you think?
Yes, I think it's partisan. I think it's partisan because the whole thing is going in favor of. They try things to go in favor of the MPP. Whereas it should be bipartisan and it should be something that they would have to all stick to the rules and make sure that the right thing is done. And not favoring, whether it is the current government, at fault, and then they trying to cover them up, So all I can say is that when you look at all these things, you could see that the politics in Ghana today, is not fair. There is injustice going on. The justice is being diverted, So all I can say is, Mansa, I think the right thing has to be done, but it has to be, Parliament has to come out, because I think I will blame Parliament, because in terms of any wrongdoing in our politics today, is the Parliament that has to stand up on behalf of the people. Even if the president is not doing the right thing, it is Parliament that has to stand up. Look now, just recently, the Speaker of the House of, in America, Kevin McCarthy, has just announced a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden. He came out to say it. What is Parliament doing for Ghanaians? They are not doing anything, because why I'm saying that is because they have the mandate to actually stand up against this president when he's not doing the right thing. Or the only thing the public can do is just protest. Organize demonstrations here and there, to show our dissatisfaction. But for the right thing to be done legally, there must be what? The Parliament has to do something. Then we would have to come in the form of bipartisanship and, stand up against this president. So, and this is not being done, hence what is happening today. So the president and his, I would say, politically corrupt guys in the government are just sitting down there laughing at us, because they see us as probably we don't know what to do. And they're just, playing the game the way they want. You see, so much, all I can say is I think Parliament should do something. If you ever bring any parliamentarian, online to interview them, it should go along, you should ask them these questions. We want to ask them, why are they not doing anything, coming up in the form of bipartisanship, to stand up against this president? Because constitutionally, that is what they should do.
All right. Okay. I think many people will agree with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good call.
Sydney Discotheque, Verano del 79, con la mejor música.
Right. Lee on Facebook says, Akufo-Addo and his useless appointees have stolen so much that they are scared of leaving power. He continues, Canada Japan should publish the snaked contributions of workers he claimed he had employed. And then lastly, he said, Akufo-Addo is not governing the country, but rather satisfying his childhood fantasies of becoming a president, and with the help of some criminals and gullible Ghanaians around him, he has succeeded. You can also bring your points, and believe me, I'll read them. But let me go on to this Dr. Frimpong Manso's open letter. According to this one, he said, Ghana has not done well as it should have done since President Kwame Nkrumah was unconstitutionally ousted from office through a military coup by the National Liberation Council on February 4th, 1966. Ghana has had 3 other interruptions of government. The present Fourth Republic, dominated by NDC and MPP, has not brought the transformational change that will put the country on path of sustainable development and prosperity for its people. Or say, I dare say that the fight ahead of Ghana is greater than the fight for political independence, and it cannot be won with leaders who lack the zeal, commitment, conviction to confront their own demons and other forces and headwinds that are against the development of the country. It is always said that one cannot reinvent the wheel, and I believe in that old adage. I present here is examples of what happened elsewhere on this planet not too long ago. I personally believe that the country can make progress when we get leaders who exhibit the qualities in examples that follows. And he goes on, he said, the first example of transformational leadership is from Singapore, when the government of Lee Kuan Yew took office in 1959. It set out to have a clean administration. The Prime Minister said that we were sickened by greed, corruption, and decadence of many Asian leaders, and we had the deep sense of mission to establish a clean, effective government. This was solid commitment from the newly elected Prime Minister, with determination and credible program committed to scientific and technological development. Lee Kuan Yew and his team were able to live up to their good intentions, and Singapore, which in 1819 was a village with 120 fishermen without natural resources and hinterland, propelled itself from third world scholar to first world affluence in just 35 years. This was commitment and sense of mission. He said the second example is from China. The economic development taking place in China is the result of an initiative taken by 4 scientists. On 3rd of March 1986, 4 of China's top weapons scientists, WANG, that's Wang Denheng, Wang Gangcheng, Yang Jiaqi, and Chen Fangung, jointly sent a private letter to Deng Xiaoping, the leader of the country, with a warning that decades of relentless focus on militarization had crippled the country's civilian establishment. They recommended that China must join the world's new technological revolution or it will be left behind. They call for an elite project devoted to technology ranging from biotech space research. Mr. Deng Xiaoping agreed and scribbled on the letter, action must be taken on this now. This was China's Sputnik movement. And the project was codenamed the 863 program for the year month of its birth. In the year that followed, the government pumped billions of dollars into labs and universities enterprises on projects ranging from doing the underwater robots. The program initially focused on 7 key technological fields: biotechnology, space technology, information technology, laser technology, automation, energy, advanced material sciences. You see, 2 more fields were brought under the umbrella of the program: telecommunications in 1992 and marine technology in 1996. In 2006, Chinese leaders redoubled their commitment to a new energy technology. You see, the open letter is a bit longish one. I have to find time, read it. And Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng has agreed either tomorrow or on Friday. He has agreed to come and have a chat with Mansa Musa and NFM. So watch the space.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo.
Ojaye! Ojaye!
NFM Radio.
Oja, yes, that is fire will burn you. The same OCB, sir. Welcome back. That is how it is. The show must go on. So the show is going on. Anyway, right. So, like I said, Dr. Frimpong Boateng will come and speak to us either tomorrow or on Friday. The Chairman General of NDC, Mr. Sirin Katia, also next week around 24th-ish. I mean, next week, not next week, but a week after 20th of September, thereabout, he will also come and have discussion with us. This evening, we are talking about the degradation of, the moral aspect, the moral fiber of high caliber people in public service who now don't seem to care if they are being tagged with corruption or being labeled as corrupt or anything. And to me, to many of us, that isn't good. That's not the way a country is governed. In a country, if everybody has come to accept that the only way, to make ends meet or to, make progress in life is to bend rules, is to take, illegal monies, is to sell government or let's say state properties to oneself, is to, that's literally steal money from state coffers. If, very few people are doing it in a country, then we can manage it. We can try to, bring it down. But where almost everybody is doing it in a country, the country becomes ungovernable. Doesn't mean ungovernable doesn't necessarily means, strifes and fight. And no. Ungovernable is that people have become willingly susceptible, or willingly accepted. They are willingly, or they have willingly agreed to the status quo that our country is full of corrupt people, but we don't care. That's how we want it. Obviously, I tell you what, a lot of people, like I was saying before, I needed to go for a break. I know a lot of big men who previously thought Kufuor, in fact, is the difference, and that he will perform. Kufuor is a man to, bring some sort of stability, some resemblance of a disciplined society, to make sure that people do things by the book. Kufuor was talking so much. You see, one of his comments, if we can listen. One of his comments. Look, you listen to this. Listen to this.
I've said it, and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government. I've said it, and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government.
So you see, people of high integrity, as we say in our local parlance, big men, people, elites in society, believed in the words of Kufuor. They trusted, they believed that, this guy, in fact, if we don't give him a chance for him to prove his mantle or his metal, for him to, work some magic, then we wouldn't know, maybe Ghana would have lost a great chance. You see? So many people, 2015, 2016, thereabout, thought, this is the guy who was coming to, re-establish or reinstate some discipline into public life. But move on to 7 years after, and after so much debt, so much borrowing, so much degradation in the state structure, with so much corruption everywhere, so many of these people, or those people who sold the Kufuor to Ghanaians, they have now regretted big time. It's that bad. Some are just quiet, others are bold to say, no, this guy has disappointed us. And some foolishly are still, because of pride, or just the fact that it is Akan tribal bigotry, they still maybe find strength to defend and to shout. You see? Like today, I sent something around, and somebody say, what about Muhammad? I said, you talk about Muhammad. If you think he is the one running the country, talk about Muhammad. You have every freedom. I'm not going to challenge you. I'm not going to say anything you say about Muhammad. I'm not going to say you are even lying or anything. No, you go on. But say it. And that ended up, we couldn't come again. You see? And this is happening in so many instances, for some reason, Akufo-Addo has been able to capture the national psyche in all its negative forms. You understand? If we have, Frimpong Boateng has written about how China started their development process, how Singapore started their development, everything through leadership and, quality leadership. You see, they capture the national psyche. That, the one that Osagyefo did it from the very beginning, the one that Achampong also succeeded in doing, when he came and he said, Operation Feed Yourself. And to a certain extent, Rawlings also succeeded in capturing the national psyche in the positive, at least for some time, in the positive way. Akufo-Addo has, in his own way, captured the national psyche, rather in a very negative way. Everybody, people are afraid to speak the truth, to challenge, to criticize. Unless you have the support and umbrella of a political party, then you'll be hounded, you will be chased, you will be harassed. So people are afraid, especially those who hold some higher positions in the public service, and the people who don't want to lose their livelihood, their earning power, and the rest. They just have to keep quiet and follow the trend and let things go on. That's all. So Akufo-Addo has succeeded in capturing the national psyche in a negative factor. Unlike Osagyefo, captured the national psyche with freedom, self-governance, independence now slogan. Nkrumah's Africa unity and the rest. You see, they captured the whole nation, the psyche. That's a positive one. Achampong managed the same in his very beginning about Operation Feed Yourself, and all those things. He captured the national psyche, also positively. Rawlings did the same, and he also captured the national psyche. People, accountability, probity, and even though in the end everything fell apart, but at least captured the national psyche positively. Akufo-Addo has captured the national psyche rather negatively. Rather very dangerously. Satanic, I can even say. Because at this period, no one says anything that is the truth, but that, comes out as criticism of this government. And then, nobody sell man, no basaba would sell man. For people who have dragged the country into this quagmire, still they feel that they are entitled still to run the country. I don't get it. And you see, it happens. In certain countries, these things happen. And you see that the politicians, they come out in a different guide, in a different form, to speak as though, show a bit of remorse, show a bit of respect to the people, and they'll try and use some words to mean that even though they have failed and anything, you should give them the chance for them to correct. These people, those people, MPP, for them, no remorse at all. It is that the Obia can mamuntie, and yanu krese asayo maino. And you know, for the first time, Bank of Ghana, Bank of Ghana, no? You see, it's not profit-making organization. But equally, it shouldn't, that not making profit doesn't mean it should bring more debt. Or it should print money and give it to people illegally. I said the moral fiber of the country. I say, Bibia. So imagine if any other president, any other government, if any caller comes to power and they are doing the same, how are you going to criticize? How is anyone going to criticize with the Christian Council, the Council of State, the Council of this, the Catholic Bishop, the Pentecostal this and that, and him for nananum? By the way, can I come in? Yes. The telephone lines are open 0208 123 5911 or 07876 251 261. 07876 251 261. If you ring any of these two numbers, I will let you speak. I started from the very beginning when I was talking that anytime you want to come in, But then some people didn't hear me. So someone have just sent a message, can I come in? Yes, you can.
NFM Radio.
And if you have just joined the discussion, the topic is all about the moral degradation of our country, especially the public service, which has now been downgraded completely, where people are afraid to do the right thing. You do the wrong thing and you are supporting Akufo-Addo and his crooks, then you can, you are very safe to go. I bet you are going to win your pension and everything nicely. If you try to raise any concern, you are in trouble. So today in Ghana, people in the public service, just keep quiet and make sure that Akufo-Addo and his people know you are in support. Then you are okay. If you are not in support and they get to know, then anything can be done to destroy the rest of your life. You see, this Akufo-Addo some time ago, one of these communications said, he said, Akufo-Addo is a mistake. And, those days I hear and I think, as for opposition propaganda, they are using such word, this choice of words, maybe they are just using. But now I do understand. The guy is a mistake. Ghanaians made big mistake. But then Ghanaians too are human beings, because the way Akufo-Addo talked, the way he spoke, the way he mentioned and tried to coin the problems as though he understood Ghanaians' problems and everything. The way he spoke, many people who believed, I'm not going to criticize those who believe Akufo-Addo when those days he promised to do so many good things. He was so, convincing that even Rawlings trusted and believed him. Even Rawlings was hard. And in the end, when Rawlings found out that, oh, dear, whom am I following? It was too late for him. And they got rid of him. That's a fact. People will not think it's a joke. You see what I mean? So for those or one or two people who said Akufo-Addo was, how do I put it? That Akufo-Addo was just a mistake that has happened to Ghanaians. It's rather a very expensive mistake. Now we are aware. We know we've made big mistakes by bringing these guys, these crooks. You see, there are so many things I can say. One of them, the annoying thing is that in other countries where maybe a political party fails to, to govern properly, and they still want to stay in power, you see that people in that party will come with some remorseful statements. They come with, somehow almost apologetic, saying that please give us another chance. We made mistakes, but we know how to correct it. After Akufo-Addo's group, the MPP today, is rather telling Ghanaians everything that has gone wrong is somebody else's. COVID, Russia-Ukraine war, Niger problems, West Africa problems, Ebola. Now we have the strong winds. Everything that has spoiled the country's economy, it's not Akufo-Addo and his economic gurus. Everything the fault of someone else. They don't have remorse. They don't have respect for Ghanaians. And so people who beat the second Japan, crap as somebody president. Now, more support to be second Japan, more about them. You see, I don't blame them sometimes because someone who has failed miserably, failed completely, or looking at Japan to me challenging Baumia say it's a failure. So why wouldn't Baumia can Japan think that he can also become president? If Ghana for Jimmy per se the presidency in Baumia will failure. And they say can Japan's because so make me the president. This guy crooked with intention like this. This guy, this Kennedy Japan who will come and fight people who are fighting corruption? Anybody who tries to fight corruption, Kene Japan comes to fight him. Also, person be the president. And we have people, so-called intelligent people, Omotino abodam chese tino aye krasisem aye traba. And omudidi DH3. They said it looks as if say MPP4, just like they started the previous time, everything they bring a slogan and they think people will follow them. That's why you see Baumia say the audience kono or see a friend no showdown. Showdown no say expressions they say abeye ni your friend say abeye ni policy. They know that if I can, I will give them showdown. I mean, what sort of showdown is that? What exactly does Baumia mean by showdown? Exactly what is he going to talk? You run the country down completely. You have left the economic position or the economic ministry and you are now doing telecommunications and technology. You are fronting me while there's a minister. Something that even should be in the hands of a deputy minister. A hands of a deputy minister to be running maybe the technological or digitization program. Now it is the vice president. You say that is his achievement. As if say Sika must say on that thing. Any government and say MPP among come say intino and this for they won't do digitalization and your friends say the infrastructure for digitalization and technology and almost starting for what? The person who have built the headquarters, the very massive building to start doing computer technology and the stuff. I mean, so Baumia, who is, somebody to be called a whiz case in anything, let alone economics. That is so good. This guy within 2017, I don't know. He said he has arrested the dollar and kwasiakika slogans. He, Baumia, has arrested the dollar. Then no more clapo. And then the policy he said, Obama will be showdown. You see the foolishness level. All of us. People who are, obia, some people who cannot even be, let's say, blamed too much for what has gone on within the party, no. Nobody wants them in the party. It's all about people who have stolen lots of money. No more chiche. Then people will support them to come and run the country like this. Baumia's policy now is that he will come and give NDC and Mahama a showdown. And also a policy. Because previously, they were able to go along with proclamations of programs, which we call slogans. One district, one constituency, 1 million per year. 1 million per year. So, 272 or something constituencies. $1 million, 270 something by 4 years, by 5 years. That constituency should be well built now. Check by this constituencies, just equipment, programs and infrastructure, schools, amenities, theater halls, a whole lot of table tennis court, this and that, all constituencies. If we have 1 million for them every year, because 1 million in the local economy, you can, purchase and do so many things. $1 million, apart from the central government or regional government, the central government, what the central government wants to do. If you are giving a constituency $1 million every year for 8 years, imagine the things that those constituencies will do with those monies. But today, when you talk, oh, we didn't say that they will give them the physical cash so that people will share it. It's all nonsense. So you didn't say you're going to give the physical cash. So where is the what do we call it? The proof of that 1 million per constituency for the past 7 years. Where is the proof? Say, even on paper, these people had equivalent of 1 million. These people are equivalent of 1 million. Apart from the central government expenditure. So they rely on these slogans, lies, abject lies to win power. And now the policy today is a showdown. Someone who has failed miserably. I remember he once tried to explain himself out of this if the economy, the fundamentals are wrong, the exchange rates will expose you. He wanted to explain himself out of that. And no baby now money other places people are sitting down and they couldn't hide the embarrassment. They were trying to hide the embarrassment. This guy is going around, he will give somebody a showdown and people are clapping. See the nonsense? Jesus Christ.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio.
Fire will burn you. That's the title, the name of the program. And whenever I say fire will burn you, please don't get me wrong. I've always had to, put out this disclaimer. I have to make it clear that I don't intend to set fire to anybody's radio or anybody's telephone, listening, through your laptop or anything. No. I don't want to set fire at all. It is metaphorical that fire will burn you. But fire does burn. When you come here, you speak and you don't speak well, fire will burn you.
NFM Radio.
That is what it is. So, yeah, like I was saying, tonight I'm all about the falling standards in public office, where now people are not afraid. They don't have the shame of being tagged as corrupt. Today, it's all about when if the government in power, the party running the show, Akufo-Addo's people, if you are able to demonstrate that you are with them, you are part of them, then anything goes for you, honestly and honestly. So the standards, that feeling of guilt or feeling ashamed to be tagged as corrupt or as having taken bribes or giving bribes or anything, very important. In those days, In my day, when growing up, yeah, corruption and everything was there. We used to call it kalabule and everything. But people were, these were done in quiet. You see, bribes were given and taken in the quiet. People who had big monies didn't want to flaunt them. They hid the money because local gossip will ask questions. Where did this... Okay. Where did this man got his money from? Why is he so rich? This man has been working at the Ministry of, let's say, local government for the past 10 years. And within the last 6 months or last 1.5 years, he has not won the lottery, or maybe he won the lottery. Or he hasn't got any inheritance or anything, and yet he's got 2 heavy, big mansions, and now he is, spending his time abroad on holidays, expensive, riding in, flying in expensive jets and the rest. In my day, people did corruption, but it wasn't flaunted. It wasn't in the open. It wasn't something that people were proud of, unlike it's happening today. Akufo-Addo has brought that national degradation in standards. He has promoted it. Akufo-Addo Bawumia, Kenoforeta Gabriel Chidako, who has no portfolio in this government, and yet he makes decisions. He takes decisions. Professor Frimpong Boateng, who has agreed to come and speak to Mansa Musa, he complained in one of his reports about Gabriel Chidako. Likewise, Mr. Boache Jaku, he has also complained about Gabriel Chidako. Gabriel Chidako, like I say, has no portfolio in this area. He's not a minister. He's not even designated as an advisor or anything. No. But the monies that this boy has made, the monies that they have in hard currencies, the backdoor system where they will set up something, they call it purpose something vehicle. Purpose vehicle. They will follow something. Then that vehicle should be run by a law firm or something. So the law firm will charge $5 million. All need to be paid. Bam. Now, Gabriel Chidako did your money. A Japan nonsense. This is a Japan royalty state. Everybody have come to know that it was wrong. It was bad. Still, they are doing it. And they have now even shifted to now that a Japan thing because Ghanaians don't want it. Now they force they bring gold for oil. Brought gold for oil. Our gold is taken away. Nobody knows the worth of it, but they say we are getting oil. This world, any serious government, any serious organizations, they keep their gold. They store their gold. They don't exchange their gold for oil. You can only do that in times of high crisis. Like you have, like this what do you call it? This eclipse that happened in Turkey and the one that happened recently in Morocco. If we had one in Ghana, then what were we going to do? We haven't had any serious crisis, but our economy was flat. People misrun the economy. The people in charge of the economy, Bawumia and Kenoforeta, they are still there. Like I said, in any proper country, when people get to know that the finance minister gave different figures to parliament and different figures to international borrowers, that alone can go to jail. That is a serious country. Akufo-Addo is running the country. Some primitive in Krasisem will be the president. Me akorana mpese me president. Is a president. Mommy private jet. Where the money is coming from, he doesn't know. No, they didn't know. And in Krasisem, he speaks that English. And people like Rollins and NBA. On fasa sika butu say or the fa plane ekochi na se wa broni ni mu ntiti na fa ha na ekwa ni nyina mu se ye ntungu na stela mo de mo medi so na mo bobodam. Those of you advocating for this nonsense, this stupidness, to still accept this NPP as of a head of management of everything, mabu bodamana. Ghanaians will not fall for this again. Ghanaians will not fall for this rubbish anymore. The total degradation of our moral fiber. At least in 1979 and 81, try as we did. I mean, yes, maybe we failed, but at least we tried to build the culture of truthfulness, the culture for accountability, probity. It was difficult because everyone who sees money wants to, a person in Saboga is human nature. But at least we tried. And then just chop the money. But when you are chopping, make sure you are on the side of a Akufo-Addo. That's all. You are free to go. That's all. You are free to go. Let me announce to you that coming this weekend, definitely, our TV session will start operating. So watch the space. I'll announce it. Producers mean meeting as if say me meeting when you can say, well, how aqua?
NFM Radio.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo.
Ojaye. spirit, Oja is calling. Oja,
Right, welcome to all of us back to the show, Mansa Musa. Hey, you know, I always have to tell you that I am running the show here. I am doing the producing and everything. So sometimes I even do the photography as well. You know, sometimes the battery gets dead and I have to change the battery in the camera. That's why sometimes, you know, I play long music just for me, you know, to give me the time and space to readjust things. And now though someone called me from Ghana to give me some information, and so I'm back till the program ends. I will say 0208 123 5911 or 078 7625 261. Any of these numbers, if you call, if you ring me, I will let you come and speak your mind. What am I talking about? The simple thing, the degradation in the, you know, social, national standards in public life. You see, I started by saying that, look, in my day, I remember, look, in the 70s, you know, getting to the end of 70s. After all, it was about corruption, Kalabule, that brought about June 4th. Then later, the 1st, 1981, we all knew that there was corruption. But the difference is that in those days, things were done in camera, behind closed doors, under the table, hush hush. People do not bluff their way. They don't build mansions. All of a sudden, within 4 years of coming to power, people have big mansions. People have big houses and everything. No. It wasn't like that in my day. You see, so the idea was that, you see, or let's say the reason was that people feared, people respected, they didn't want to lose the respect. General public that, okay, this man, that time it was rather embarrassing to be tagged as corrupt, or you take corrupt, or you take bribes and all those things. Today, thanks to Akufo-Addo, it is all in the open. And that is thanks to Akufo-Addo. Very, very bad. This guy doesn't fear anybody, doesn't respect anybody. And it has to be said. Mr. Kwesi Akwa, good evening, welcome. Hello, Mr. Kwesi Akwa. Hello. Is it me or him? Hello, Kwesi.
Yeah, Mansa.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Thank you, Mansa Musa.
Okay, what we go do for you?
I'm not even out.
Because waiting for do for you here. You have come.
I'm not even out.
What do you mean you are in or out? So you are not you're listening to the program. You just called to ask me. The
line is making funny. Can you hear me, Mr.?
I'm sitting here all night shouting and ranting, and somebody say, "Am I in or out?" So should I say,
Mr. Let me shoot. If I'm in, let me shoot. Mr. Tonight, I'd like to say hello to all your listeners, all those Mudaho fans who are listening to you tonight. There's a special listener I want to wish him a special happy birthday. I know you won't forgive me, but I have to do it. Musa, I would like to give a special shout to Dr. Ambrose Amia, who celebrated his birthday a few days ago. Doc is part of your key fan. He's one of your number one fans. So, a special one from Kwesi to Dr. Amia Ambrose. So, I said, let me call him then, at least.
Okay.
Musa, quickly, in fact, as for Nana Akufo-Addo, Mansa Musa, Nana Akufo-Addo, that man, even the NPP people said they've stopped talking about him because they know the man has been a total colossal failure. Nana Akufo-Addo, you see, he was just a Ghanaian like me and you, Mansa Musa. They came and lied. Oh, that was not true about John Dramani Mahama. They moved heaven and earth just to take Ghanaian lies, just to take the power. Now they see this guy has really disappointed the entire state. We have never seen such a colossal failure by a political party like New Patriotic Party. You know what? This 2024 election, my party, what we need to look for is the electoral processes that will lead to election. And the monetary aspect that these people are going to use, all the stolen money that is stolen from the banks. These are the areas my party, we need to make sure we are ready. We need to fight this election at the police station for boots. NPP political party, unless they change their name, they have really disappointed the state, Mansa Musa. So sometimes, if you want to talk about that man, you have our support. Whatever you need to say it. It It is so disappointing and shocking. Because I don't even hear NPP people coming to air on your radio station. Where are they? You Patriotic Party people in the UK here, where are they? They've all gone to sleep. You can't even hear them, Mansa Musa. And they say the word, they say Baumia. Baumia. We are waiting for him. They should present Baumia. We are waiting. So this evening I will leave you and I will listen to you. Thank you and good kudos to all the good job you've been doing for Mother Ghana. I said Mansa Musa, you know what? I think you and Kevin Taylor, you are like twins. You have really spoken your mind, you've spoken for Ghanaians. 4 years. You have really done well for Mother Ghana. Thank you and God bless you. You and Kevin Taylor, you have done a human job. That's what somebody will say. You don't want to see the way. They start the campaign now, number 10. Maybe on Paul say UK and Ireland, my party members in UK and Ireland will give you the opportunity to come and lead this party in UK, Musa. If I'm given the nod to lead NDC, UK and Ireland, Musa, communication will be one of my priority. Communication. And my women wing and the youth wing, these two organs, they're going to play a key role in 2024 campaign. Let me assure you this. Let me assure you, Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa, Brutus once said that. Brutus, he said, look, if you want to do something, you have to be bold and do it well and achieve your goal. And you'll be the happiest man on the planet. I would like to urge all NDC members who are ready to make sure they bring NDC to power that, look, we have a work to do. Let's work together. Let's spend our time together. Let's spend our resources for the party. Let's push hard and make sure John Dramani Mahama come back to power. This NPP political party, we have to take them through what I call a total forensic auditing. We have to audit their office in power from 2017 to date. And I want to plead with John Dramani Mahama. Me, Kwesakwa, I'm saying, John, we beg you, when you take over the mantle from these people, do a total forensic audit of the state. We did a total forensic audit so that we know the colossal amount of what these people are stealing, so that tomorrow people won't blame you. Musa, I will stop here for you to continue your program. We continue to listen to you. May the good Lord continue to protect you. Whatever you touch, it should turn to gold for you and your station and your management team. Thank you and God bless you, Mansa Musa.
Thank you, Kwesi. Well spoken. Good call. Thank you very much for your call. Right. Chebia, I will bring proceedings to an end. For you, the German who said there's some screeching noise, I don't know whether you are talking about the video about the Facebook or YouTube. I'm not sure it's the YouTube. I'm not sure it's. I don't know what you are talking about, but if you can, elaborate, explain where the noise is coming in your opinion, or what you are hearing, kindly make it clear to me so that I will let my engineers know about it. Because, like I say, I'm sitting here with monitors and everything, and it sounds good, but maybe. Depending on the type of equipment you have, maybe your phone or whatever, there can be some noises here and there. Maybe you are right. So if you want to come in to say to me, or let's see, where is it? Or to point out where you think there is noise or something, please come and tell me, let me know. Otherwise, I will just think that maybe there's not much to be talked about. You sent me this message saying there is some screeching noise in your transmission, and I want to know which one, because we are on air on the radio link, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on Ghana, Modern Ghana platform, and we have another radio link, I think Radio Global something. So let me know which one. If it's the Facebook, I'll let my engineers know and we will deal with it. Otherwise, as they say, let's have our peace of mind. But thank you for the information anyway. Thank you for the information. And I've already sent inquiries to my engineer to check, to make sure that the setup is good and clear. And the last thing, we want is noisy transmission. That is not clever at all. So, like I said, if you have just joined up, I've been talking about the way Akufo-Addo has brought, the standards in public life. He has, brought it so low, completely, disrupted or damaged the feeling of, that pride which people in government circles held dear those days. Nobody wanted to be seen or be tagged as corrupt. But today, nobody cares. Corruption is now free for all, and that is not very good. Let me speak to the gentleman. Hello.
Hello.
Godfather, good evening and welcome.
Thank you. Now, what's he saying?
I don't know what you Akufo-Addo was sell man and yet just the corruption, but the way our standards in public office are sacred. And before maybe you jump on my head, I've said it for the past 1 or 2 or 3 hours. I'm starting to say, in my day, when I was growing up, 79, 81, it's all about Kalabule, corruption, and this animal in a buy. So corruption was there. People took bribes, people took monies here and there. You're going to join the army, some will pay here. Yeah, you're going to find a job in the civil service, you pay money there and that. It was all there. But things were done in camera. It was done on the quiet. And people felt ashamed. People felt insecure if they were to be tagged as corrupt or having taken bribes and all these things. Today, the difference is that just Ubia Jisika left, right, and center. Amo maino emutrano aye bibie woho. Wrong. And that is what I am tackling. I'm talking hard and harsh to power. Into Akwaba.
That's it. Now, I like to mimic how to be fair and do proper comparative analysis. Corruption, yes. I mean, it cuts across. Corruption has been
NFM
there
Radio.
since, like you're saying. But you see, the difference between that time and this is here and it's here, because of social media, we hear so much now. At that time, in the 70s, 90s, and 70s, 80s, and 90s, not social media anymore. So it's only what in the 70s, 80s, what did we have? We have only Graphic Times, Mirror, and Spectator, all state-owned. So they don't really tell us exactly what is going on that is wrong because the state controls the media. What did we have? We had only GBC 1, GBC 2, NA TV, GBC TV. That's all we had. So it was not easy to get to know what was really, really going on. So it hasn't been so different from now. But my point is, it's still not good. The reason why we are where we are is because leadership has failed the country for a very long time. It's not just Kukuli who has failed. a lot has happened before Kwekuli, during Rollins' time, during Kufuor's time, during Atamil's time, during Muhammad's time, and during Ekufuado's time. So where do we go from here? That is what we all need to look at, the whole situation we find ourselves in. Say, who is coming to do the right thing to at least curb it down? When it comes to corruption, the entire MA is so difficult for us. They say, you can have me no way. Do you know, like the other day I was telling you, I mean, the revelations that woman made, that mathematician who used to do countdown, what's her name? During
I've forgotten her name, but I know what you are talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a very popular, clever woman. Yeah, but
that clever woman, that mathematician, very infinity. But the revelations she made about the corruption that has happened in the last 10 years under this conservative, especially during COVID time. But because people don't make so much noise about it. So corruption is a very endemic problem. It's not a very good thing. But the good thing is that here, yet there's so more, you will not go scot-free. You're so more, you not go scot-free. But the problem with our country is the people who are supposed to make sure they don't do anything about it. So we have a big problem in Ghana. We have a big problem, and we all need to dispassionately, constructively criticize what is going on, because when politicians conduct themselves in corruptible ways, they find a way to get away with it. Unlike Ahanom, say revelations here, mamia Labor is going to come to government. Labor will make sure people will be prosecuted. People will be prosecuted. They won't get away with it.
Maybe what can be do no sir. Me two things. Let me start with Hano Awokano. So say revelation now woman here. I mean before no be there's one guy TikTok near that is very, very vocal. I mean, I could be a typical English Cockney man.
Yeah.
Now, he speaks harshly against establishment. I'm making those, instances, and even LBC, some of the left-leaning presenters have come out with all some of these problems. Okay.
Yeah.
The point in it the last time I met here, 150 billion.
Yeah.
Kind of saying were printed or
Pounds,
quantitative easing.
Yeah.
People will argue that COVID almost 7 to 8 to 9 million, depending on who you ask. People sat at home for 9 months, others 100 and 1 year, 5 months, even some 2 years.
Yeah.
A bit more privately, the government will take 80%, their employers 20%. Huge amount of money, sir. Enfant said they printed money to use.
Yeah.
But the difference is that there's no way the executive here will tell the Bank of England, say, you should write that money off. So they have assigned, it is there, that the government, whichever color, anything I will say Labor, they will do something, any government that will come, they said they are going to use 10 years to pay.
Yeah.
It is our kind that when it is for some government no be try say if really okay. Secondly, the other point I want to many when you adwene Ghana there now many when you adwene kakra so because today there is so much access to easy information, either capturing or receiving of information easier because of modern technology. And because those days in the 70s, 80s, or what about, we didn't have those facilities. You are trying to, to claim or to, you are trying to say that it was almost the same, the corruption. And what I mean, I say, even though there was corruption, 150 billion, 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 150 this time around, it's not about the perception. So you can say, oh, no, Rollins, yes, no, yes. But if you go into the books, you go into the books, Auditor General, huge sums of monies. Anyway, what would the difference? And yet media now say TikTok and now say people's friends saying social media they capture you. Where the official documents now Kasano is a Bank of England, a Bank of Ghana. These things, different from previous where things were done and they hide it. And now we could just the perception. Near Kikampo, yes, a champ for two graph. If you share more documents in the by we be corruption, but the level I do say no, it can be BM. And that is really bad. That's what I want to say to your comments. Otherwise, they are working, I think I follow suit.
It can be BMO. I agree with you. And this is that. I think this is something I always say. Look, if you look at Rawlings' government, when MPP they were coming to power, they said Rawlings' government was corrupt. Kufuor's government was more corrupt than Rawlings' government. Same way, Ejata Krade or no Krade,
the corruption grows. Yeah.
Onim the Ekoso. The administration was corrupt more than Kufuor's government. Mahama's government was corrupt more than Ijata's government.
That's why Rawlings was appalled
more than Mahama's government.
Yeah, that's why Rawlings was appalled. But Rawlings, who said, "Hey, Ekufuor, I may trust him because Ekufuor is some more kind. Me born a clip will be so tier. Those who have come here to make money, they should go to private. When you listen to all this, you think, hey, this man is upright.
So you see, and I was developing a point. The reason why it's like that is because we don't punish corruption. I remember example, Kroma. I mean, you have to look at best practices. Kroma, when the MP scandal of expenses scandal came out, and people went to jail.
Yes.
Do you think MPs will do the same thing to go to jail again?
Even if they will do it now, maybe the law will back them, or not to that extent.
Exactly. Because Nkrofo could jail for expenses of 13,000 pounds bill. Expenses of 13,000. The highest was about 15,000. We said 20,000, which they can pay off, but they still went to jail for it. But we are talking about corruption in Ghana in millions.
In millions. Apart from say Sikano Krana and Nkrofo perceived to have stolen, look at this scenario. I remember 2018, 2019, thereabout. And Adongoya started and Alutum say, hey, the figures we are seeing in Parliament is different from the ones the finance minister have shown to outsiders. Maybe any other no. Now maybe debt to GDP no, it's not equal to what we have been seeing. We have been shown in Parliament, and people thought it was a lie. Yensom. They say, who said, now you're true. Said this guy was presenting different figures. That case, any country from here serious and compare them to lie to Parliament, to lie to the people, especially when it comes to economic. And they are capitalists, economists, let alone Korea no more. Also be susa no kasa resign. It be cry to me take you on one life because now finance minister still just say according to say Ghana no more dia just obedient to me can. I mean, why?
That's what I'm saying. Say the impudence with which corruption is going on in Ghana, that is scary because we don't punish corruption in Ghana. Until we punish corruption to make it to set an example of a deterrent, it's going to get worse. That's what I'm saying. Say, me, I don't believe. Say, if Mahama as president comes back, he is going to do anything about corruption. That is the problem we have. If it's a different person,
you see, there's a saying that the stone that the builders rejected in the first place may end up to be the cornerstone. That is the strongest part of the building. The point is, look, People trusted so much of what Akufo-Addo said. Now, Mahama haven't sat down at home. And secondly, as someone who say NDC party to say MPPR, nipa bako ewo top to me control. Even when they are in government, the executive is still somehow being checked by the party itself. Too much. I am sure, say, look, if there is the possibility to get a third option, fair enough, let's try that one too. But as we sit here, pragmatically, Mahama and his crew, and for goodness sake, really, and to me continue like this, we Ghanaians will not allow it. Right, that's what I can say.
You want to tell you something? You see, this thing that I hear people say, we Ghanaians will not allow it. How can Ghanaians not allow it? Akufo-Addo is doing whatever he likes. Even the old parliamentary caucus crumple, he doesn't listen to them. So we run an executive president. That's the point. I mean, look, let's
go into that posture. I mean, you belong to that group. So practically, tell me, that's what I'm saying, pragmatically, where do we go from here? If Mahama and his NDC are not the optional, where do we go?
Oh, thank you. You see, I'm saying this, I'm being very practical. Not because I don't like NDC, but it's because I don't think Mahama will do anything different because I've seen him.
Different from Akufo-Addo have done, or differently to previous.
Exactly. Because let me give you another.
No, let me understand. I don't understand. Is it you think he will not do anything different from what Akufo-Addo has done, or different from his previous actions?
Different from his previous performance.
And that perhaps people will say is better than what we are seeing now.
Well, because of where we are now, it will look worse.
So that is a positive. There is a plus.
No, how is that going to be a plus? It's not going to be.
So we should let Bawumia and Kennedy Japan come and continue. You think it will be better?
Kennedy Japan, forget about him. Kennedy Japan is not going anywhere near the presidency. So let me tell you something. This is my position. It's not because I don't like NDC, like I'm saying.
Listen, even if you don't like it, you have every right. It's your opinion. Me, let me tell you. I'm in Nkrumah. I don't like the UP.
Hold on.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm in Nkrumah. I don't like the UP. So you can also say you don't like NDC.
Hold on.
It's no crime. It's no crime, my friend. If you don't like NDC, it's no crime.
No, let me lie. There's nothing against, and if I don't like NDC, I'll say I don't like NDC. But NDC, their philosophy, if they are following their philosophy, a little bit of, I'm a socialist. I mean, I'm an unapologetic socialist. I say it without, that's why I say when it comes to politics, I don't hide. Even if I'm the only socialist in this world,
before we continue the very good conversation, my producer tried by me say, he is not sure where you are talking, because who sending me a message, be say there's some screeching noise in the transmission.
And
well, because me here and me try, caption my producer. And also Etienne was sending me say, I'm not sure where. Also
through the Facebook.
Okay. I think he's listening
to us. If there's no screech now, then maybe I don't know.
You see, because I am here, me system, I say very conflicted.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The producer, on Facebook, non say if there is no chicha, there's a transmission chichichibiwom. That's one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Continue.
So when it comes to politics, I don't hide when I don't like something. It's because I don't like ideological position. I particularly don't like MPP's ideology. So down, I'll say I don't like it. They said they are free market nonsense and free market agree. I am that free market conservatism. No, in fact, any developing country cannot progress with free market ideology.
I think I'm beginning to like you now. Not because you say we are socialist, but because you are explaining succinctly, that's they say, and accurately, in the sense that anybody who think they can compete with, especially the Western neoliberal market, it's a joke.
It's a joke. You cannot. I mean, you're a developing country. How can you say, oh, we are free market enterprise, capitalism, nonsense? You are a flyweight. How can you compete in the free market with America, UK, Japan? You will be consumed. That is why developing countries are not going anywhere. They are on their show team say government has no business doing business. Are you sick? Government is the biggest investor in setting up strategic industries. That's what the Chinese people did. That's why they are where they are. Then eventually, when you are cruise control, you've gone up, then you invite people gradually, regulate them. People who go to China and set up businesses like Apple and all those people, do you know the kind of regulations the Chinese people put on them?
If you don't obey the rules and in regulations, you'll be kicked out in disgrace. You'll be kicked out. And you see, the advantage they have over it because of the high level mathematics, physics, chemistry, and sciences, and low level in prayers and in faith. So they take over your system and they will carry on with it. Now we follow only faith and Bible. Carry on.
So when it comes to ideology, I really don't think that. You see, and let me tell you why Akufo-Addo is struggling. Akufo-Addo himself, he's not a conservative. He was, when he was growing up, he wasn't like that. Akufo-Addo was the leader of the Marxist movement in secondary in the university when Nkrumah was in power. Akufo-Addo was an Nkrumahist. When Nkrumah was overthrown, Akufo-Addo was giving a lecture in the Marxist forum, Legon, and he ran away home and hid for like 3 days. Akufo-Addo is a Marxist or Nkrumah ideological school. Akufo-Addo was part of it. So this guy has, you see, the reason why Akufo-Addo shifted to become what he is because of the Rawlings factor. Rawlings came up as some sort of
that one too. I totally agree because minimum peniphobia. Now they feel a bit ashamed of themselves, but for the hate of Rawlings, they were eager and ready to follow anything. If he is proper Marxist too, but because Rawlings factor, he has to join hands. And
because
now
Rawlings was going to the left, they decided, we are going to the right now. You see, so those people, that is why Akufo-Addo has got this sort of socialist principles of free education, and he wanted to build bauxite, aluminum. He wanted to build some state enterprises, but the party or woman, only the man he's made financial, they are the people who had made it very difficult for him to even do whatever he wants to do, because. And no more person.
Now, me and my bread. I go away. And hello, how are you doing? Please, I need help for UK visa. Please help me. I go here to Ghana every day.
UK visa already.
I said, when you
about holidays are that's all over.
Oh no, so Pablo, how do you blame him?
Always a high
T-shirt here a shame officers you can't gum.
Always a high easy. I don't think I say if you want to I got a quite the heart. Don't have about 6 months that or struggle can lose at all. Welcome back. Anyway, so you see, where we are, like I'm saying, I think the best thing is for Ghanaians to NDC to realize that our mistake for choosing Mahama. If NDC chose any other person, they can make campaign NDC.
And Mamibusa say, with him at the helm of affairs, and he coming to do just 4 years. Are you not sure, sir? The whole of the caliber of the NDC, men and women, even though there will be some rotten eggs, are you still saying, sir, comparatively, your friends say, no Mahama I say BBI, and the Emma Omomutraso. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, what I'm saying now is that, look, Mahama has got only 4 years, and that's what they all do. Mahama has got only 4 years. The minute, if Mahama is the next president of Ghana, the minute he comes, he says that there is no money. So there is nothing we can do. We have to cut down everything. But the politicians themselves, because of the way they have spent money to campaign and come to power, they will be making money. That's what it's always been. That is how it becomes very difficult for them to even deal with anything. The people who donated for them, they'll be sharing contracts for themselves, and they will try to recoup the money they've lost in the last 8 years. By the time Mahama realized 4 years number on this is what will happen. That is what happens all the time for all of them. So me feel say let's even try it. I don't even think say that is the only option, probably viable option so far as I'm concerned. Mankofo will answer, so then give them 4 years to fix their own problem. Because at the end of the day, look, the reason why even continuity in places like China and the rest, they are progressing. It's not like corruption, but the fact is that MPP for a corrupt crowd. We're corrupt, They are not going to start being corrupt again the next 4 years, or new people. But when a new government comes now, they are all trying to make money very quickly. Quick example, Nabrim. Small boys here on MPP Samia Okunom Bakuna friends and your Ahinom and the same Kofuya always see a dying in 4 years, but no one see a dying. The next 4 years, are they going to build any more houses?
So that justified the give them the justification that they should continue. So they have corrupted. Mami building me question. They have corrupted, the country, duped the country to put it in a street language, brought the country down to its knees. They are super rich individually, and maybe if we are lucky, they will not continue to be corrupt. So we should let them to stay.
That's what I'm hoping.
Really, as a a message, I was saying Mansa Musa. I was a friend super dice. I was saying Mansa Musa, this is your man. I beg to differ. He's fake. He's not a socialist. Socialists don't speak like that. He's an MPP who is disappointing. Okay, should be disappointed, but I'm saying tapu disappointing. And he's not. Grammatically it's not wrong. If say you are disappointing, I just say you are continually present, continuous. You are
don't justify that.
No. If you say you are disappointing, it is a present continuous. And yet mistake, and you're wrong. Maybe we use the word disappointed.
It's grammatically wrong.
Well,
you say it, but it's grammatically wrong.
No, the concept is not wrong. You are disappointing me. But the meaning is just say wrong.
I'm saying, sir. To say somebody is disappointing.
Yes.
You're grammatically wrong.
Oh, listen, if a dancer is on stage or a vocalist making his own show, and people are, frustrated, the guy is being very disappointing. What's wrong with that? Anyway, Mr. Listen, bro, for Miss Mitipa, Mr. Yanko, so you're fan 20. Wouldn't you be a friend? Hello, Kwesi. Anna, and you oh, sorry. Hello, Kwesi.
Yeah, Mansa Musa,
I have a metionka. I think you want to add your toppings.
Yes, I want to add my toppings, surely. You see, Mansa Musa, let me say something here. People who come on air, they say that NDC should have chosen somebody else, not John Dramani Mama. I hardly get disappointed in them, big time. Because we are practicing a political system in Ghana. So when a political party decides to choose somebody to lead that political party, what is your beef, Mansa Musa?
Maybe his beef is that if you have not chosen Mahama, he says you would have campaigned for NDC.
No, I shouldn't campaign for NDC.
He doesn't trust Mahama.
I don't have any beef.
No, you see that gentleman speaking, he's talking.
Godfather,
you see, this is the problem with NDC for. That is why they are not getting independent voters to vote for them.
Please, Godfather, what am I saying? Then you respond. I say, be
the attitude that you show.
When he was talking about this, he's talking about socialism and democracy.
How can I have a beef?
When you're doing a political debate,
how can I have a beef?
You have to compare the two.
I express myself and said I have a beef.
Let's compare John Dramani Mahama's records to the now Kofabi's records. Let's compare the two.
You started
you are saying the state running nicely in terms of infrastructure.
Instead of you to come
and explain themselves,
say no.
So that when we are doing analysis of the two, we can then compare John Dramani Mahama and the now Kofabi. The two of them, they have records. You don't come and stand on there and say that NDC should have chosen different person. No, I don't want to determine for NDC.
What do you mean I can't come and say?
Ghanaians, you see, the gentleman speaking is a Ghanaian. Even if you have a vote in Ghana, or you vote to call Ghana, you vote here, Bakope. You vote. Because you have the opportunity to speak on it,
you see, when it comes to this argument, both sides, it looks as if, say, Obiam per se, Obeti ni Yonko dear. Godfather, you have every right to either have beef or not beef.
Exactly.
You have every right to say Mahama is a bad choice. You have every right. And Kwesi also has the right to put you to say, hey, my friend, what you are saying is wrong. But the thing is, each and every one of you should have a good thick skin, hard skin to absorb
I have a thick skin, but
a good skin. Please let him finish. No, we are now so account and yes, I know. You are going over each other.
Sorry. Now I get you. Okay, go ahead.
So, Kwesi, learn for me, then I'll get back to.
No, Mansa Musa, let me learn. You see, if you are doing a bit of submission on political system or being socialist or capitalist, you need to compare the two and say, look, these two governments, which of them has invested in the economy? Then you come out with the statistics. We come out with figures. We come out with information. Because if you look at the two, John Dramani Mahama said his 3.5 years that he was in the office, not even 4 years, he has achievements for him to show you. He has the things he can produce. If you come to hospitals, the hospitals this gentleman put to support the economy, it is there. If you come to technical and vocational institutions, what this gentleman put to support the economy, it is there. If you come to things like energy, if you talk about Atuabo gas alone, what is producing for the country and the economy is supporting, it is there. Energy, it is there. You see, when you go into that presence for us to discuss about the two, then you come and tell me the difference between Mama and Akufo-Addo, then we are having a meaningful discussion. You come and say, and this is I will support them. Who told you that? Who told you that NDC is needed? Your vote is needed.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
NDC, you see, NDC as a political party, they have a structure, they have a system, they choose their leader. It is not for you to determine. Whether you keep your feelings. You feelings, whether it's good or bad, keep it. NDC,
anyway,
President
have to come in there. He should keep his feelings, you know. I mean, he has.
I'm not insulting you, know. He said he doesn't agree that NDC brought Benjamin Imanda. That is his feelings.
He doesn't have to keep it. He has to air. He can air it. Whether
it's
up to you to disagree or agree, but don't say that.
No, he has aired, but if you 1,000 times differ with his submission. Full stop.
Okay. Godfather, Kwesi is saying that you should build your argument around or about substantive substantive performances and things that can be compared. I mean, you say practically. And in that respect, in that regard, what do you think Mahama is not good enough compared to, let's say, Akufo-Addo?
He cannot say certain things and expect me. I won't dignify him with any response. You see, this is the problem I have with this NDC porno. They are too emotional. When he says something that you should keep your feelings. No, you are coming on. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me repeat.
When you are complaining,
that is what defeats everything he said. That is what defeats. You see, these people don't know how to go on radio and on social media to campaign for NDC. They drive people away from NDC. And they think, say, they need only NDC supporters to win 2024. They need independent-minded people that they can convince. So Mahama is better than any other MPP candidate here. That's what they don't know how to do.
Okay.
They go about...
That granted, you know, Mimi Busao say, that is his point, that he feels Mahama is their choice. What do you feel about Mahama, no? Practically, in practical terms, or in that, say, DNT now food say, Baumia, one now say, Can Japan, dear own do baby, Baumia, or Boachai Jakon, I don't know the rest, said any of them with this MPP will still be better for Ghana than with Mahama in position. What do you say?
Your friend said, Mansa Musa,
yes, sir.
I'm sure you've read several times on my social media handle and everywhere I said, I said, when these people say, oh, I'm a socialist, I'm disappointed, I just keep quiet because those people, they can't even argue well. Number one, maybe I've said in public, say, if Kennedy Japan is on the ticket for MPPR, I'll campaign for Mahama. I'm very, very practical when I'm thinking about politics. So. I'm very practical.
I don't think my question. And me can say, you want to swear free home. They say, one can say Canada Japan the onye. Now maybe Busao says, you are no free wa. The rest, you know, why do you say they are better than Mahama?
I'm not saying they are better than Mahama. You see, politics about the better of the two evils at some point.
Yes.
That is the way you look at it. And they'll be able to look at it differently. So when people say you should keep your feelings now, then they don't know how to do politics. People don't keep their feelings. People make arguments, and you have to refute the argument with
we've crossed that river already. Say,
that's what they do all the time. They are too emotional. Advise them. They don't do that to go. Politics are about numbers.
I'm begging you to make progress. I've asked you specific questions.
So I'm going forward. I'm British, so you should know that British people, we don't like you and dragging your MP. We move forward. When British politics on debate, sometimes they don't even dignify people with a response. They just move forward. Now, my point is that when it comes to the caliber of people that are on the ballot paper to 2024. It is the independent-minded voters who will make all the difference in 2024. That is what people must understand. They are about 12 to 15% now. They will make the difference. Number one, Kennedy Japan can never be president of Ghana.
Yes.
Because the middle class will never vote for Kennedy Japan because of Nisuma and Wadedi. he can never win independent-minded voters. MPP and NDC voters, they will vote for anybody that is on the ballot paper. What I say? Then the problem NDC faces, they say, they are always comparing Mahama to Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo will not be on the ballot paper.
Sure.
So that argument is already defeated.
Yes.
So what is Mahama going to do? The way they have to tailor the argument is that. That's why I always tell them, say, they need to elevate politics in Ghana. Sometimes they don't know how to debate. What did Mahama do that was wrong? That he's coming to correct it.
You see, Godfather, you see, look, on the side of NDC, they have selected Mahama, right? Maybe question to you. Maybe question to you. They say as independent thinker. As independent neutral thinker. Maybe Busa will say, Mahama no more neighbor. Who argument any day what he say? Mahama no more neighbor. Baumia and I Boache.
Thank you.
Better. DNA argument, yeah.
Thank you. So this is where I'm going. Now Mahama is on the ballot box. So I just made the inference initially. Say I would have preferred somebody else. But now Mahama is on the so we are moving forward with Mahama. But my point is that the way Mahama can defeat Baumia 2024 is for Mahama to make a campaign about what he did wrong in government and how he's going to do it right. That's the only way. That's the only way he can convince somebody like independent-minded. Even if it's not very credible.
Throughout his latest conferences and speeches, and he outlined certain mistakes they made. And
like
he
what?
Well, you see, Obikai will say, if you want to hear, you will hear. Because who's up to now, some neutrals say, Mahama never comes out with any proposals, any policy. So Mahama comes out with so many things. Now,
like what he did wrong in government is corrected. Mami, one example. Baby. Okay. Mami, one example. That's my point.
And
so the same way. Let me
make to at least come out with a groveling apology for what they did wrong.
Apology. It's not apology.
To acknowledge what they did wrong first.
Exactly.
Okay.
Given
that he hasn't done that, maybe prefer discussion here. Given that he hasn't done that, now say what the other group almost even now as yet currently currently say I know my question they are not owning up to anything. Even Baumia was trying to explain himself out of his own comments. Say, if the fundamentals are wrong, the exchange will expose you. Now he was trying to explain himself out of his own comment. Now the conformity front row. Now Obia embarrassed. You see, they are not even giving you or us even taking taking responsibility for anything. Now Mahama should come and tell Ghanaians he's done wrong before we support him.
No. So you didn't let me land. I'm saying 2024 will not be business as usual. Where to do all this equalization and they will get away with it. I've said the same thing about the MPP. Whoever leads MPP, if it's Baumia, if he cannot make a campaign and admit the mistakes they've done, he should forget about the independent-minded voters.
But don't forget, see how me say the MPP, even though they have brought the country to its knees, they've stolen a lot, and so maybe if we give them a chance, they will not continue stealing. That's what you said, though, and that is for me. That is a serious statement for somebody like you to make.
Hold on. Say you see, don't mix it up. That is my foresight. I'm looking forward. I'm looking at where do we go from.
Some people have been corrupt, but we should leave them. They will change in future.
But those people come in, they are also corrupt. When they are corrupt in government, that's my point.
All right.
It's just the scale.
Okay.
If somebody was corrupt, got a Ophelio 10%, Obisunya 20%, they fulfilled. Only now because receipt. So let's forget about the corruption. When it comes to corruption, they equalize each other. It's just that one person has been more corrupt than the other. So let's look at the fact, say, who is going to raise the bar of politics? Who is going to admit, say, we are very corrupt? And how do we solve this issue? This is the mistakes we've made in government. So when I am president, or when I'm president again, this will not happen again. We did this, I couldn't solve it. But I have seen, say, this is how we raise the bar of politics. Look at Labour, how they sometimes criticize their own people when they were in government.
Yes.
So that is how you convince people. Until say we'll get people, and I've told the people, Baumia people say, until say if it's Baumia, and he doesn't really admit.
Before I go to Kwesi, so you know, Busa say, to you, no Godfather, you think, you rate both of them, say their governance, you know, you think both of them, both parties have done 8 years, you know, and you think NPP, NDC, in terms of governance, they are all the same, as bad as each other. Is that what you're saying?
Unless you want me to go into the details when as bad as each other saying, let's be
say in governance, one set of group, you know, much reliable than the other, and now they are all the same.
Well, when it comes to NDC, I don't think they have a lot to talk about when it comes to growing the economy. They pick an economy that was growing at 15%. They left it at 3-point-something%. I mean, that is a fact that is there.
Don't forget they left some very tangible supporting structures, and I say
you see that is why.
Look, no, you can't brush it aside. Some 100 million here, some 50 million there for ESLA for this, and now they are all been depleted. Some of them or you're very thrifty. I mean, Setekpe wasn't, you know, Mahama was not like one of you who were the impedance. Say Yakaso would travel a dorsal. Private jet a dorsal. I mean few crowd because my cousin your friend's a bank manager. I don't know finance minister. I mean, there's no comparison. Say your friend say governance power. One who say Obia even soldier crowd by mu na chief justice no or support soldier by na mantino. Just say or no kasa law and order no or to be suspended no. And that's a justice system. You are suspended so that to favor somebody. No, because so until I come, nobody can give this order and this. Every public institution is now supporting MPP and the Kufuado. Are you saying that the same governance? One kasamini wina penny for one way be that since Wutina Ghana we are similar. Wudi inchine. One was the way be that.
I mean, who be that?
And you don't think the governance are the same.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Say you can talk about the scale, but when it comes to the facts, that the underlying facts say they were all crap. No, the underlying fact is there. The scale that you can compare the scale, because Nina cannot be the same. When you talk about say inflated project cost. That is what the bulk of the corruption is.
Yes.
They all do it.
Yes.
They all do it.
I'm not going to sit down here to say they didn't do it. But what I'm saying is, look,
thank you.
We have this. Look, today, there's a treason case. Treason, nothing but treason. And so you are from Wakotama, almost what they say, whistleblowers. Everything about Kufuado and his people, if you support them or it's in their favor, they try to skew or bend the rules. Sa governance way, the continuation of this is not good enough. And for a socialist like yourselves,
how is the continuation?
You want them to continue. You want Baumia and the rest to come and continue.
Well, I gave you a reason why I said that. So don't just quote. I want them to come and continue.
Okay, fair
why
enough.
did I say that?
Okay, fair enough. I withdraw that one.
Quickly, let me land. And the reason, and there's a caveat. Let me land. Then he'll come in. Yeah. I only have a thread. There's a caveat to the reason, and finally, it's not sacrosanct. So nobody should think that what I'm saying, is the overbearing fact. No, this is the way I believe.
Okay, so yours is just an assumption, and that's a
exactly. It's my perception, perspective of the way we should move forward. Yes. Also, a different perspective come and make a sound argument.
Kwesi,
don't come and say
make a sound argument.
What I'm saying.
Let Kwesi make a sound argument.
I'll make a sound argument. When the judgment started, he said that there are some submission others make, they won't dignify it. I'm also sharing my opinion like he also shared his opinion.
I think that was also wrong. Kwesi, I don't want us to dwell. I think it was wrong for him to say that because we are having
I agree. Let me go ahead.
Kwesi, give me a chance. Look, the three of us, I'm sure, say, if when it comes to academia and now be educational, so let's give each and every one of us the due regard, the due respect.
Thank you very much. That's all.
And to both sides, and to two Kwesi, let's go.
Okay, I will draw from there. Musa, you see, what pains me is that those people who call themselves independent thinkers, they have really disappointed the state called Ghana. The same people sit back when this state is being dragged down by this Nana Akufo-Addo and NPP. These same independent think tanks, they sit back and they see nothing wrong with us, Musa. Currently, even what the Electoral Commission is doing to the electoral voter register, it is so bad that these independent thinkers, they see nothing about it, Musa. Let me come back to some of the submission that he has made, which he is trying to say that if you want to equate the corruption, they are all the same. It is all lies, Musa. Let me give you a bit of information here. Musa, gentleman,
see, when I say I won't dignify, this
when you were speaking, I was around. I decided to keep quiet
like that.
Can you listen to me, please?
Say you don't.
Gentlemen, can I speak? When you were speaking, I was here. I was listening. Can you listen to me? Please.
It's the truth,
Musa, and when he was making his submission, he said that it was difficult for Gentleman to defeat Bawumia. Who told him that? What record has Bawumia got?
You have a problem,
Bawumia, gentlemen, you see, you are thinking, you are supposed. Can you let me finish? I beg you. Mr. Bawumia, what records has Bawumia got? Bawumia hasn't got any record. He's a vice president. He hasn't even been president before. He's trying to campaign on Nana Akufo-Addo's legacy. And what legacy has Nana Akufo-Addo given for him to campaign on? Listen, for the active cable that gentleman Mama built for the state called Ghana, which Bawumia is using to describe his digitization, he's not even, thanking gentleman Mama for providing state
what you're saying is not even true. It was Kufo.
Can you ask him to reply for me, please?
You are coming on radio and coming to tell somebody it's all lies.
He's talking about corruption, which is all equal. Mr. Talk about nepotism in Ghana today. Can you compare the nepotism of this government to
Mama? Don't come and say, don't go anywhere and say Mama brought fiber optics to Ghana.
That's right. When you were talking, you said you wouldn't dignify me. I forgive you. I'm talking when you talk, but you are interjecting.
For telling me everything I'm saying is all lies.
No, please, let's be gentlemen on air. People are listening to us. Can I make my submission without interjection, please?
Be gentlemen as well. Learn how to talk.
corruption being the same.
Somebody can say it's all lies.
No, sir, you are wrong.
Kevin Taylor and those
government, NPP government, the nepotism which is in this government, it is very bad. The institutional corruption which has really destroyed the state.
You people, you listen to Kevin Taylor too much. That's why you are too emotional.
Mr. I'm not being emotional. I'm making my submission. What the gentleman is doing, I'm highly disappointed in you.
As long
because if you don't want me to talk, tell me you don't want me to talk, then I'll stop. Because when you were speaking, I kept quiet. I'm speaking now, you don't want to allow me. Can I go ahead without interjecting?
You can go ahead without telling me whatever I said is all lies. Thank you.
So can I go ahead, gentlemen?
You can
without you interjecting. Can I?
You can proceed, sir.
Because
I said you
let me say this finally. You see, Mansa, what is going on in Ghana under this government, it has never happened in Ghana before. It is only this government that we can have
living in paradise like Mama. Mansa.
You see, what is happening in this government has never happened in the state called Ghana before. We can tell the whole state Ghana that almost 60 billion of our citizens is gone missing in Bank of Ghana. And we have the independent think tankers, they are quiet. That they are saying that only they are trusting a well
90 billion got lost in Bank of Ghana. Go and
Mr. We have the government in power.
90 billion got missing in the Bank of Ghana.
I think I will allow this gentleman to talk. You don't want me to talk.
They don't know. They don't.
No. Listen, you don't know how to do debate. To be honest with you, I kept quiet and listen to you. I'm really disappointed. I think I will stop here because you don't want listeners to enjoy the debate you are doing.
Because you are very selective. You are very selective. So I won't allow you to be that selective. You are talking about 60 billion gone missing in Bank of Ghana. Under Mahama, 90 billion gone missing. Mahama see about review.
Why don't you stop this gentleman for me, please? The one he is doing.
Go ahead.
I don't do my debate this way. If you let me just.
That's my phone.
You see, people like this independent people, they're all NPP people who have turned themselves to independent thinkers. Don't trust them. When they come here and they tell you that everything should have never chosen somebody every time because I'm getting money. It's all not true, Musa. It is all not true. What is happening in the country now, Musa? You need somebody to rescue the nation.
And who is that person?
We need to do something called, I told you before, Mansa Musa, Ghana needs something called total forensic auditing. So that we see where
that person to come and rescue Ghana.
We speak so that we can identify people who have brought this nation to its knees.
Kofi, who is that
all these independent think tankers who come on air and say that they are independent think tankers, it is all not true.
Listen, Masa,
majority of them politicians who have told themselves independent think tankers. When they come to your radio, don't give them that platform. Tell them that they should be white if they are white. They should be blue if they are blue. And they should stop lying on air. Mr. Listen, I won't continue this debate because the gentleman, he will tell me that he won't dignify me, but he won't allow a proper debate to go on. But let me tell you, Mansa Musa,
Mr. Kofi,
when you come back,
don't worry.
If you get the opportunity to come back, all those who profess to be independent think tankers, you see them surfacing. Then you see them attacking the gentleman. Meanwhile, this government has done worse. They are all quiet. They come on air and they say, oh, well, this is government. I will stop here for now and I allow you to continue your program. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. These independent think tankers, don't trust them. Listen, just don't trust them. Thank you so much and God bless you.
God bless you too, Kofi. Mansa.
Yes. I'm listening to you people. Yeah, me too.
Mansa, they say, NDC for they are their own worst enemies. So I'm saying, you see, when they meet people like me, they should be sober, and they have to adapt a way of trying to not even debate, but reason with people like me. Not to convince me. Oh, you see, this is what they don't understand. When I go on radio, my submission is not for the NDC person or the MPP person. Oh. It's for the people listening. So I'm not on radio to convince an NDC person as a panelist or MPP person as a panelist. This is what they get so emotional, and they try and hit low blows and said, oh, those people say independent, they are disappointed MPP for, and then. But meanwhile, no, NDC for your core supporters like this guy talking, you can never win 50% plus one for Mahama. And they know it. They know it. So if you are rubbishing everybody, say, or you're independent minded, now or a disappointed MPP for, what is the extra 12%? You know, who are they? Where are they? They don't understand how to do politics properly. Let people who say they are independent, leave them alone. Don't try and call them names. Because you call them names, you are calling all independent people.
Listen, you see, the record shows that 2015, Mahama inaugurated 800 kilometer fiber optic cable in Ghana. 2015.
Yeah.
So,
but the person who brought it initially was Kufuor, so it's not Mahama.
If that is how we want to call it, then the person who brought it is Rawlings, because it started in the 90s. That's the record here.
Whoa. No. Fiber optics didn't start.
You're talking about, the
fiber optics didn't start.
Connection.
Fiber optics didn't start in the 90s.
I mean, the point is,
what I'm saying is that
the story or the records here doesn't mention Kufuor.
No.
When you reading from the screen,
Mahama brought fiber optics to Ghana. It's not true.
I'm reading from the screen. What I'm reading here, there's nothing which shows here mentions Kufuor's administration here. Nothing. Anyway, that's not the reason I call you into the NFM.
Yeah. And my point is that I hope some of these NDC people are listening. They should cut the emotions, because their NDC party, and their Mahama, is no saint.
Sorry. Why?
Mahama, NDC people, they are no saints. So when they get emotional and they talk as if, say, what is going on, Mahama will come, NDC will come, and they will solve everything. It's not going to happen. You and I know it's not going to happen. If you want to come to power, try and convince people, say, we are a better alternative, without being emotional. Stop insulting people and calling them names. They are disappointed MPP people, all these neutrals and think tanks, and more could be one country. And so you don't know what others are saying. I criticize Kokuli all the time. When I have to criticize him, I criticize him. I tell MPP people that they can never use Kokuli to campaign in 2024. Because he doesn't even think he's going to solve any problem of Ghana now. He's leaving it for the next person. So how are you going to use a person who doesn't believe that the problem that he and Atafuri they've created, he's not capable of solving it?
We are talking about, you see, some of this record for me. Look, the IT center, for instance, it said on opening of the new digital center in November 2016. It's a new digital center, not, which wasn't inaugurated or started or built by Kufuor or, So for that, I would say that the purpose for which the fiber optics, the purpose for which all this infrastructure was made, that purpose is being realized by Bawumia continuing with this digitalization. But the deceit in all this is that he's making it look as though if it wasn't for him, this won't happen. And that one we all know says Sabi, you bet me at your campaign. But no cry woman say, Baumia ain't me for where you want and Kase Yentu Abamano. Because on all other issues, especially economy and finance, he has failed. Meet you.
Uti mekaso na okasa ntina meet you. Say, o de okasa.
Manuesi, unsa Manuesi.
Tie, you see, politics is a competition of ideas. There is no sacrosanct way of campaigning that will be 100%. When political campaigning is how you strategize and what you strongly believe you can make an argument with. At the end of the day, no. If NDC feels they are going to stop the digitalization. Dr. Digital, you are the people making Baumia popular about this digitalization. What they are doing. So how can you turn around and say he didn't do anything about it? You thought you were saying it to make him look like a joke, but there's been so much improvement in the digitalization and digitization of Ghana's economy. There's been so much improvement.
And
what you cannot take that one away from me.
Argument said there's improvement. Why should he take the credit? We have a minister. We have a minister for communication. I mean, those people and their deputies. I mean, how will you leave your economic platform, the economic, your friend is a portfolio, the one which describes you as a witch kid? When it has fallen flat, we see, oh, I am doing digitalization, so I'm the best. It doesn't work. It's too cheap for those of us who are discerning. It's too cheap.
So my point is that, you see, the vice president, I'm not making an argument for him. What you are saying, you could be right, but at the end of the day, he's championed something. He's an economist, but he's not the one running the economy of Ghana. You and I know. Say the vice president doesn't run the economy of Ghana. No vice president of Ghana runs the economy of Ghana. And that's a fact. It's not just about Baumia. In the Fourth Republic, no vice president runs the economy of Ghana. So when people say he's running away from
say that again. What's in the Fourth Republic? What?
In the Fourth Republic, no vice president runs the economy of Ghana. It's not their job.
So why did Baumia started as 200 and something question to what we call it, Misata?
That's why Misata.
He should have known this. What you are saying. You see, the double standards, the double speak, and the double standards. And then you are telling me, vice president.
But you see, you are not
himself said he brought Baumia because his expertise in economics.
No. You are not listening to me. You see, at that time,
say that again. Go over again.
No. At that time, did you know me?
Hey.
At that time, Baumia wasn't even my fan. Mansa Musa, I said, I bought say, Mansa Musa,
okay, for Anusi Mame.
It may be a controversial. What should I say? Let's show our microphone.
Ochina will be at time, it's a Friday. Many Professor Frimpong.
We use a microphone. Which is our friends. My point is that, look, Baumia, when he was vice president, you didn't know me. There are a lot of things he was saying. I was criticizing him. He's being intellectually dishonest. Sometimes when he's quoting figures, he's quoting the debt stocker. Edru MPP Swa no ekotunu in dollars. Edru NDC Swa no ekotunu in cedis because of inflation. Now every NDC Fonso they are doing the same thing now. You know, that's talk. It's because of inflation. It's that I be So there are so many things that these people, the politicians, they use just for political gain and for political expediency. He did it when he was vice president. I criticized him a lot. When I used to go on radio, they used to call me NDC. When I'm a MPP opposition, you know, I criticized Akufo-Addo say when he couldn't deal with Afoko and Kwabena Japon's corruption allegation in MPP, you know, I doubt if MPP comes, Akufo-Addo will deal with corruption. I said that on radio, but there has to be change. I said that 2016, Mahama lost the election. It wasn't MPP who won the election because people were suffering. They see how people are suffering. No, 2016, people were suffering. That's why all the infrastructure projects, it doesn't put food on the table for people. The real experience of people was that there was no growth. Growth fell from 15% to 14% to less than 3%. 2 point something was at 3%. So that was the effect of Mahama's government.
Anyway, listen, the notes on this interconnectivity, fiberglass, optic, and all that. Google and read it, because in politics sometimes we make some statements, and you see what you said. I didn't want to challenge, but you read it. The people who can claim ownership, even though maybe it is international set out something, but if it's ownership, I'm not sure we can give it to Kufuor, the fiber optics.
No, T. Let me clarify something. Let's say it was Kufuor's time now. Fiber optics bar Ghana. No, it wasn't. It was Ghana Telecom, and they did fiber optics in the bar Ghana. The reason why I criticize Kufuor and say when Kufuor sold Ghana Telecom to Vodafone, he shouldn't have added the fiber optics. Because the fiber optics wasn't for I think it was for VR or something. I've forgotten the story a little bit. It wasn't
anyway, everything is written in black and white on the screen. So if you read that, for me, I do see.
Yeah, it was the fiber optics.
The first landing by, like you say, is it Vodafone or whoever that company, 2009, and the connectivity in Nigeria from Portugal, from Desla, from here, up from a submarine connected to
exactly.
And say in that case, you can't find fiber optic expenditure in previous budgets. Say what budget in Kufuor time because when you budget in, but it's not there. So why,
no, it's not there. But I'm saying
so how do we claim it for Kufuor when it's not in budget? And the thing landed in 2009.
No, it didn't land in 2000.
Oh, I'm reading it on the screen.
No, I'll get you the facts. I've got.
Okay, you get me where the link you can get.
Yes,
mine is on this one. Let me read so that everybody will hear.
I'll do that.
ICT Ghana say Ghana Telecom's market develops through fiber optics networks, 4G that time, 4G. 4G.
I'm talking about the initial
4G LTE and e-transformation program, Ghana ICT overview. If you read that, but if you have other documents, let me have it. No problem. Send me the links. Send me the links, because when you just a political banter, when a year, it's also important. So let's see who did it. Okay, listen. You fancy her. But now I come and say me will fear that. But
definitely.
Madam, Wasi for your time. Thank you very much.
All right. Until my dear and Chiwai.
Bye. Right. So this this is where we bring the curtains down for tonight's show. Thank you very much for keeping my bum on this seat for all this time. Me too, I tire. I for go home and relax. God willing, see you tomorrow. Inshallah. Bye bye.
NFM Radio.
That's mine. Mama,